Today we're going to be building this cannon, what's called a bombard. Now, in 1453, the Turks had one of these that would fire an 800-pound stone ball through the, I think it's like 20, 30 feet thick walls of Constantinople. Turks. Anyway, what you're going to need, you're going to need a handful of tongue depressors, another handful of popsicle sticks, 2 bottle caps, and 2 rubber bands. Hopefully these won't be too dry rotted. If they are, we'll grab 2 more. Alright, first thing you're going to do is going to cut your barrel down. And we're going to use this one here as a template. We're going to make a barrel. You ever seen a barrel with a square, you ever seen a square gun barrel? Well, there you have now. Back in the Middle Ages, some of the earlier gun designers actually thought it would be cool to build square gun barrels and fire square bullets at the infidel. Both sides did that. Whew. Human dislike of one another tends to go back a long ways. The Pope, for example, he banned crossbows for use against Christians, but it was okay to shoot at the infidel. Of course, both sides called each other the infidel. But anyway, back to the cannons. With the advent of gunpowder, unfortunately, the age of catapults came to a close. Not so here. We're going to keep making them till the end of time. But we're going to make a cannon today. We're going to take our glue gun. Let me grab some extra glue sticks, which I happen to have now because, take a look, we have cleaned up the workshop. There's all my books. Ain't that sweet? Now, we're going to make our gun barrel. That's going to be the core of this whole machine here. So what you're going to do is go along this edge. Now if you've built the tanks, you've built any number of my projects, you know that you can actually glue these things edge to edge like this and get your point across. Now, kids, if you're using a glue gun, make sure you have an adult supervision. Alright. Everybody be praying for Kid Mad. She's a little under the weather tonight, which is why she's not here today. She is at her nana's resting. So everybody keep her in your prayers, because everybody loves Kid Mad. Now, let's edge this over a little bit. See, now you got 3/4 of your gun barrel done. Now, let's get some more of this. Push that glue stick in a little more so I can get a little more feed. You know, the glue sticks lasted me a while. I had one of these that literally blew up in my hand some time ago. And that was not fun. Here I was doing this, all of a sudden it sparked and shot flames and everything. But, it is what it is. You know what time it is when your glue gun catches on fire? It's time to buy you a new glue gun. Now, get this evened up. There you go. And if you are not evened up, then when you get it evened up, see, this is the trickiest part right here. So this is where it's going to get real tricky. But we can fix this. And there you are. There's your gun barrel. Let's see if we can get this thing together here. There we go. Now, that will fire, by the way. This one here is probably more of a pencil eraser one. That one there, right there, if you can get it evened up like that, will in fact fire marbles. And it should look like that. This one here is going to be a little ornery, but it'll still work. Probably don't need to be firing marbles in the house anyway. Anyway, back to this now. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take one of these tongue depressors. I'm going to cut it in half. See if you can measure this off. And spin it around. And even it up. Now, this is going, you glue these two together. Like so. Decide which end of this is the bottom end of it. You're going to do that. And it's going to be the tail of your machine. It's going to be the tail of your cannon. Now, while we're doing that, we're going to take one of these dudes here if you'll notice, I've got underneath here one of this little stick right here. We're going to cut one of them down here. I'll cut one slightly shorter and hope it don't split. There you go. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to have some torsion on under the gun barrel so that you can keep your bands tight. That will allow you to have a stronger cannon. See? Now, let that dry good. Meanwhile, we're going to come over here. I'll cut one of these down again. Another popsicle stick, or another tongue depressor. Save these pieces, you might actually need them. Just going to cut it down. Let's see, you need to cut down a little bit more. And that's going to glue in place right here. Now, it's nice and even. Now, let's cut another one of these down. And let's see if we can even this up. That was pretty doggone close. Now, what you're going to do here is you're going to glue this piece here coming off right here. This is going to be your wheels for your gun trellis. Now just realize that if you decided to stop right there, you've made yourself a pretty handy little pistol. If you stop on the gun trellis at this particular point. Let that dry for a minute. Let's put some wheels in place on this dude. The wheels ain't going to roll, but they will kind of lend a certain authenticity to it. See? Now, let's go building the firing mechanism. Now, I will tell you, this is a trigger warning. See? Trigger warning. Waka waka waka. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to cut this here down. You've already got this half of one that you've already cut. What I want you to do is cut this one down a little bit more. Now, here's how you're going to do this. You're going to glue this in here. Then you're going to glue this little piece right here. Now see, if you notice, you got a little burr sticking up right here. That's going to be your trigger. It's what's going to hold it. It's the trigger lock right there. If it splits a little, use this side. Now, I'll glue that in place. And that is what's going to hold your gun, going to hold this thing ready to fire. Alright, let's cut this down a little bit more. And that should do it. And let's even that up a piece. Now, if you have to, you could also do it that way, and I think I just messed up, but we'll do it again. It's not a big deal. There's actually a better way of doing it. I think I ended up, yeah, show you what I did wrong here. You glue that in place back here. Then you take your piece of wood right here. You glue that in place right here. And you glue that in place right here. And therein is the trigger. That's the cocking mechanism. Now let's build the plunger. I'll show you. I'll dismantle this plunger so I can show you real quick exactly how this thing's built. You're going to need a small rubber band too. I've got one right here. I almost forgot. You don't really have to have it, but you will run the risk of shooting your plunger out the end of your gun barrel if you don't. So, alright, let's pull this out. So I'm going to have to dismantle it to show you exactly what we got going on. Alright, see how you got a slot right here and you got this little tongue right here? And when that fits in, it'll fit in under like this. And in like this. So then you'll torque these bands up here underneath. There you are. So let's build this. First thing you're going to do is cut these two down. Now, your next step is going to take one of these and you're going to cut it down on this side here, and you're going to cut it down on this side here because you want it to be short so you'll have a notch for your rubber band. Now, glue these two together. Alright, now let's glue this cocking mechanism on here. Alright, get that evened up. There we go. Now, just grab this piece here. We'll cut one of these down. And we're going to cut this here down. Now what that's for, if you remember, you've got a little lip sticking out there. And that's going to be to hold your trigger. Now, that's pretty well, we're not quite done. While we're waiting for the plunger to dry, we're going to build a sighting mechanism on this cannon. Now for that, you're going to cut a piece about yay big, and that's going to be your front sight, blade sight. I'll show you how to aim this thing momentarily. If it slips off, it's not a big deal. You'll just get a slightly shorter sight picture. It's not that big an issue. Now, you'll cut one of these in half. Make sure they're good and even. Not quite. We'll have to come down a little bit more. There you go. Let's go up here and we'll glue this into place. We'll get more glue. We use a lot of glue around here. Now, and that will glue into place here, and into place here. Now, we're pretty well done with the glue gun, so we'll unplug that, and I'll show you how to sight this thing in. Alright, take a look down the barrel. Can you see the little blade sight? When you're wanting to aim at something, like say we're aiming at that piece of wood, you're going to line that up with between these two posts right here. Now, I know some places they don't allow people to be using guns, but you still kind of, if you're wanting to aim at something, you aim it right down that barrel. If you can do that, you'll have an accurate cannon. Next thing, let's go check on our gun barrel here, on our plunger. See, yes, this will work. Alright, grab these two. You're going to fit them into your slide right here underneath. Bring it up over the top. Slide this into place. Now, pull this back and cock it because, and aim that away from you right now. This is kind of a time bomb waiting to go off at this point. What you're going to do is you're going to pull this up a bit more. You're going to put this rubber band in place on it. And what that's going to do is a little loom band. If you don't have it on there, it's going to shoot your plunger out the end of your gun barrel. Now when you fire it, you aim it, and simple as that. Now to show you what it looks like, I've got some erasers right here. You'll muzzle load it, pull it back, drop that into place, and fire in a hole. So, if you can do that, a artillery bombardment can be yours. So, ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum, 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 bum-bum.